time. That's one thing. They are very stable in their employees. The employees stay there for a long time because actually they are often so rural you have no other option going anywhere else. And then there's a third very interesting thing. Me as a journalist trying to contact those companies, we got a reply from one of the larger ones. We don't do outside communication beside of our brochures. We don't want to talk about it. We don't. They have an approach to innovation, looking at new things and then letting it more or less sit for 5 years. And then they incrementally build it into their products, and that results in very qualitative products. So I believe that you're on the right track, but there are examples in the real world where there's wealth created with that.
Sure.
Because otherwise we couldn't tell why these small companies are often world market leaders in their niches, which is a phenomenon.
Sure. I just... oh, sorry, I got the microphone already. I'm too greedy. I want to speak in two at the same time. No, I just want to say that our Danish data shows something quite interesting, because I mentioned that we had ownership, and we had 3 categories. We had firms which were traditional family firms. We had firms that belonged to a Danish group, and we had firms which belonged to a multinational group. And what we found was not really, I mean, if you take the statistics, of course you have examples of what you are saying, but what we found was actually the opposite. We found that the small, not small, because it was not size, the family-owned firms were the least innovative. The next more innovative firms were Danish, belonging to Danish groups. And the most innovative were actually both in terms of developing learning organizations and developing product innovations, etc., were the multinational firms located in Denmark. So I think sometimes, not least in Denmark, we have this romantic idea that the ideal kind of firm is this small family enterprise. Our impression from much of what we have done is that these are rather conservative. They don't evolve very much, and I think that it has to do with. I think I'm going to finish now. I know that you want to have lunch, and I think it has to do with job circulation. Job circulation at the very top of the company. When you have the same boss for a very long time, at some time there's a kind of freezing of the organization. That's my impression, at least in Denmark. And when you belong to a group, from time to time you get a new managing director. And often when we make interviews in these firms, the employees tell us that we knew for 10 years that this was going wrong. We needed change, but it was only when we got a new top manager that things really changed. So I think the weakness of this kind of family firm can be continuity can become, especially if you work in turbulent environment, become a kind of too conservative form. But I have discussion with this with other colleagues who have different experience very much. So I think we have to have lunch now.
Yes.
You take the floor.
We have lunch now, and we will be back at 2 o'clock. Thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you.